Rachel, why don't you start us? Rachel, you start us off today.
Well, good morning, everybody, or afternoon. Welcome to the Oregon Weight and Wellness live Facebook show called What's for Dinner. And I am Rachel Matthews. I'm a certified health and wellness coach. And of course, we're with Dr. Julie Gilbert from our office in Salem. And with our wonderful friend, Terry is here today with us. And he's here to share. And Terry, Dr. Gilbert, do you want me to just kind of turn it over to him, or do you have a question to start with?
Yeah. Well, Terry, we've known Terry for a little while now, and he's been on a quest to improve his health. And I was hoping that he would share a few things that he's not new to this journey, but what's been new to him in the recent past. All
right. Well, I want to start out with, this is the book to get right here.
Okay. All right.
It is.
That's been a game changer for you, I think, Terry.
It's a game changer, and it's a slow down diet book. And like I said in the class with Rachel, it was an eye opener for me. Me being the questioner. And what I wrote down here, I'm going to read one statement I wrote. It says, "It showed me the science behind metabolism and digestion, and it shows me techniques to use in that book." And I found many as far as, and it's like I said, it was something totally different from what I had been taught in the past. I'd never been taught these things before, so I was able to. I'd like to just talk about some of the nuggets that I found in that book. Right off the bat, it talked about relaxation and eating slow, hence the Slow Down Diet book name. The relaxation was something that I didn't understand why that was so important. What he showed was that if you eat in a relaxed state, you can better metabolize and digest your food. And I had never heard that before, done that before. And he said, versus eating in a stressful state, your body actually shuts down digestion when you're in a stressful state. And that was a kind of an eye-opener to me. I said, well, tell me more. And he said, for example, eating in a stressful state would be like eating at your desk at work with the computer on and the phone ringing, where you're not paying attention to your eating. Eating while you're driving in a car. Mm-hmm. Again, what the brain does, he says, is it just shuts down your digestive system totally. Mm-hmm. And so you eat this food and you don't get anything out of it except a big pile in your stomach. Mm-hmm. And you carry that with you for quite a while. Versus eating in a relaxed state, you can totally digest and metabolize your food. And so I showed that to my wife. We talked about it. And I told this story in the class. I have this $1,200 oak dinette set that we never used, that we never had used. And so what we did is we cleaned that table off. And I said, I want to do this. I want to eat in a relaxed state and see how this goes. So we totally cleaned off the table. We turned off the television and anything else that would take your mind away from actually eating the meal. And we practiced eating slowly. And so we sat down, we had our slow, quiet meal, talked together, and it worked. It worked really, really well for me. So that's probably the big takeaway in the whole book. There are other chapters that talk about sort of the same thing, but how to relax and eat in
right.
state digest your food, metabolize your food, and also that would make you feel fuller faster because you're getting all the benefits. You're getting all the benefits from that food, and so you don't overeat. Sometimes if you're in a stressful state and your body, remember, it shuts down digestion, food's going nowhere, so you're not feeling satisfied or you're not getting any benefits, so you just keep piling on.
Right. And Terry, so, if I could, if I could just jump in there, that's exactly right. You know, our hunger and satiety is so driven by our neuroendocrine system, our signaling, chemical signaling hormones from our gut, and that talk to our brain. Actually, our fat cells talk to our brain, our gut talks to our brain, the brain talks to the gut, the brain talks, you know, so we have all this signaling going on, and but that signaling works better for digestion and satiety when we're in a relaxed, in a parasympathetic mode versus in a sympathetic mode. And unfortunately, our culture just has us going and going and going and going and going, and it's a rat race. So that is, and there's science behind this. That's what I love about this, that there's real science behind the way our bodies process and digest food, and why we feel full and hungry, and when we get some glimpses of that, we can really then kind of make the changes that it takes, like you did, Terry. You created an environment for relaxation around eating a meal with your wife. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and he also mentioned in a stressful state, your body releases cortisol, which is a main factor in body fat. So we talked a lot about that, my wife and I, and said we have to figure out to carve out 20 or 30 minutes, just eat in a relaxed state. And that's the other big thing in that first chapter was deep breathing and oxygen, and how that helps your body in many ways, but especially it's the burning the calories. What he says in there is it takes two things to burn calories. That's oxygen and food. And so the way I think about it is I do some breathing before I eat, while I eat, and even after I eat, because I'm thinking I'm just stoking the stove to burn those calories.
Right.
And that was a big thing for me. So deep breathing is something I hadn't done before, and definitely eating slowly and in a relaxed state is something I didn't do before, because I used to like eat in a recline. And he also says eat at the table with your feet on the floor. So that's kind of a big deal. Whereas sometimes I used to eat in a recliner with my feet in the air. And I would eat, and there would be that big pile would just stay there forever. And I wondered why my stomach felt bad. And I definitely understand now.
That's awesome.
You know, if I can say something
go ahead.
Really quick, Terry, I wanted to kind of point out something that you've mentioned a couple times, which I think is so great for others listening, is that some of the things you discovered in our group classes and through reading this book and the topics we've talked about as a group, kind of bouncing ideas back and forth, is that there's so much more to weight loss than just exercise or how much food you're putting in your mouth. There are so many tweaks and knobs and buttons, and I think for most people going through this group, they're kind of, their eyes are wide, their mouth is sort of agape, and there's all of these aha moments where they just, like you expressed, you had never heard these things before. This wasn't taught in another weight loss program, or you had never read these things. These aren't popular things to talk about because the culture is not a slow culture. So it's not popular to talk about slowing down and eating at the dining room table. McDonald's wants you driving through the drive-thru. They don't want you at your table sitting down. So some of those big learning things were very out of the ordinary and really, and I think because of that, really encouraging and motivating that there are other things you can continue to try and to work on.
Right.
I'm just going to talk about a few of them, but man, there's some
right. Oh yeah.
And it's stuff in that book.
Right. And I love it because it's not one size fits all. You know, that you know, and there are takeaways that fit an individual person. So we're all a little bit different. And so that's one of the things that we really like to focus on at Oregon Weight and Wellness is the individual person. And so we don't do a cookie cutter approach. We really kind of dig in and get to know and address the person who's sitting right in front of us. So Terry, give us another takeaway. And then, go ahead.
The chapter on quality was the only chapter we really talked about food. And it was a kind of there's two big takeaways for me in that chapter. One is you eat how your food was raised, meaning grass-fed, free-range type meats are a lot better because he even talked about the science of cows eating grass. Grass is good for you, but we can't metabolize it, but they can. And so that goes in the meat, grass-fed, free range, versus the caged animal that's just fed grains and shot up with steroids, or fruits and vegetables organically grown versus fertilizers and pesticides. You're eating what that animal ate. So one big takeaway for us, we're on all grass-fed, all free range. With that was a biggie for us. So that's a real big change for us. But the other sneaky thing that was in that chapter was about artificial sweeteners. And I had always wondered about this. And I even read other books, and I got into it, was why would artificial sweeteners not be good? There's no calories. And he explains that what these things do is they mimic sugar. Insulin is released, therefore it finds no sugar, so that insulin just goes away and stores as body fat.
Right. Yeah. So I love
takeaway. We went to Truvia. Truvia and stevia. So we also diet colas. So I drank 3 or 4 diet colas a day. Okay, not good for your bones, but also the sugar mimic. And so we changed over to Truvia. And so now I replace the diet colas with, I have tea with Truvia or just water. I drink a whole lot more water than what I did before. But that was real interesting. And even when we talked about it in class about, eating artificial sweeteners can actually make you gain weight. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's a great point, Terry. That's a great point because to your point, it's not just about calories. It's not that calories don't count at all, but it's not just about calories. It's what those chemicals from artificial sweeteners, from pesticides, from, they can change the signaling, the hormone signaling in our bodies to make us, to hijack those hormones actually and make us hang on to weight. And so just like Rachel said, there's so many little buttons that we can tweak to help stabilize or balance out our hunger hormones and our satiety hormones and to help our body store energy the way it was intended to improve our weight regulation. So it's very exciting and empowering, I think, when you get some understanding and then some practical ideas on how to make those small changes that will make a huge difference. So, Terry, I know you have a lot more to offer. I'd like to know what your plan is for dinner tonight. What's for dinner, Terry?
Okay, tonight we have, we got this at Costco. It's a tri-tip beef patty, corn on the cob, tri-tip beef patty, corn on the cob, salad. In this salad, I just have salad and tomatoes. I don't really put dressing on it. But and then I have a whole wheat muffin with curry butter. And the whole wheat muffin is a new muffin I found that has double fiber. It's a whole wheat double fiber muffin.
Okay, great. So and Rachel, tell us what your plan is for dinner.
Yeah, for dinner for us, we were away all weekend, and you know, when you travel and you are eating out a lot, you're eating a lot more than you normally would, or I do anyway. And so whenever I get home from traveling, I try to tighten up and kind of bring in the reins a little bit. I try to fast a little bit more and kind of shrink my stomach down and get back into routine. So for tonight, it's probably be some Biome. It's a veggie broth that I make, and I toss in mushrooms and green onions and some miso, and just have a nice kind of detox meal tonight for dinner.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I pulled out my Instant Pot again. I love the Instant Pot, and I'm trying a new recipe. It's called chicken vindaloo. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Chicken vindaloo, Vindaloo. But anyway, you saute onions and lots of garlic, mince that, and then you put those sauteed vegetables in a blender with chopped tomato, and then all these lovely aromatic herbs and spices like cayenne pepper, like paprika, like turmeric, like coriander, like cumin, salt, pepper. I'm probably missing one of those things. Anyway, you blend that all up and make into this beautiful, very aromatic mixture, and then you put that on your pastured chicken thighs, breasts. On the bone is even better, because when we cook meat on the bone, we're getting more nutrient density from that meat. And and then you put that in your Instant Pot and pour that mixture over it. Which took like literally 10 minutes to make. And then you press the button, and 15 minutes later, you get this very tender, delicious meal. And I serve that over my my riced cauliflower. So yeah, that's what's for dinner tonight for me. So I'm looking forward to it already. So all right, Terry,
we're
thank you.
also having sauteed mushrooms, by the way.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Awesome! That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So
okay, I have more.
Well, we're running out of time, but Terry, would you come again and join us again? We could set up another time. That would be lovely.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Terry. And Rachel, always great to talk with you.
Good to see you guys, Terry.
Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you next time. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.